All right, so I'm on a winter break here, and I've been binge watching a lot of Telugu movies ever since Pushpa 2. I've just been watching a lot of Telugu movies, and I've been watching a lot of Mahesh Babu's movies recently. Now, if you don't know who Mahesh Babu is, he's this very, very big Telugu actor. He's a superstar. He starred in many, many movies. He's just really famous. Honestly, I don't even think he needs an introduction. But in all seriousness, if you don't know who he is, just Google him. I don't want to give like an entire summary of who Mahesh Babu is and all of his movies, but yeah, he's just a big superstar, very famous in Tollywood. By the way, keep in mind I'm not a Telugu myself. I'm a Tamil, but I love South cinema, or as we are now slowly calling it, the Indian film industry, which I really love. That North and South divide, it really, it's fading away. Um, but anyway, why am I talking about Mahesh Babu and this movie called Maharshi? It's Saint. Uh, and the reason why I'm talking about it is because I came across these two math problems. Now keep in mind, so he goes to this university. This guy, he's like crazy famous. His character in the movie is Rishi Kumar. He's like this big CEO. I'm trying not to spoil it, but this is back in his college days. He's just like topper, and he just like these are quote unquote the bonus like type problems that would take months to solve, and the student who solves it will get their picture taken in some school magazine. Um, and so these were the problems, and they were really interesting. And again, I haven't taken the time to actually solve them myself, but I just want to share it with you guys to hear your opinions, because I actually searched this up on Google, like Maharshi um, problems from the movie, and there was not a lot of discussion about it. But I'm kind of I want to start that discussion. I know this movie is like now it's 2025 now, so it's gonna turn 6 years old. But after 6 years, there's not been that much discussion on these math problems. That's why I want to kind of start it. I don't know. It would be kind of fun. So if the expression x squared minus 4cx plus b squared is greater than 0 for all x belongs to I'm guessing the reals, and a squared plus c squared is less than ab, then the range of the function x plus a over x squared plus bx plus c squared is what? Now, again, they give the solutions to both these problems. But I first want to kind of question here, is C, again, that's way too big. If I can make that smaller. Is C, is B, is A, like, are these constants is what I would first kind of question here. Is A, B, and C, are they constants? Now, I would assume yes, because the letters at the beginning of the alphabet are usually constants in typical mathematical fashion. So I'm gonna say yes. A, B, and C can be assumed as constants, and so the work for this, and again, Rishi Kumar, Mahesh Babu. If Mahesh Babu actually did this problem, like he actually understood it, that would be crazy. I mean, it'd make him more of a superstar than he already is. So if we go down here, again, I'm not a big quadratic guy. There's like so much in the world of quadratics that you can, like trends with quadratics with respect to like its vertex, the directrix and stuff like that. That I haven't touched in a while. This motivated me to revisit quadratics. Again, I've not gone through this problem in detail. It could be a very easy problem, but the solution I didn't quite understand. At least when I looked at the problem first, I thought maybe you could do some like completing the square kind of thing here with this guy, and then maybe connect it with this, this inequality here. But I think maybe he may have done something like that here in the solution. Uh, Again, I want you guys to take a look at it. I have the picture right here. You can pause the video, kind of analyze it. But essentially, what he's saying is that y isn't the reals? Y is just all real numbers. Kind of interesting. Um, but yeah, this one I'd have to look more into. It does seem pretty complicated for some quadratic inequality, um, type question. So it's super interesting. I looked this problem up, or actually, I don't think I actually looked this problem up on Google. Maybe it's from like an IIT JEE like prep textbook or something like that. Again, JEE, I don't think they ask for proofs. Yeah, they don't ask for proofs, but at least like a MCQ question or something for them. I don't know. I really don't know. The second problem was more like there had to have been an error or something. So this was, of course, a calculus problem, which is great. So, again, the handwriting here kind of sucks. I was kind of having a tough time, like, reading this, at least, not necessarily handwriting, but the notation. But so this correlates to this. So this is actually pi over 2 minus absolute value of x. So it's given that f of, again, you can read this if you want. It's given that f of x plus pi over 2 equals to pi over 2 minus absolute value of x. So then it says f prime of pi over 2 from the right. Okay, and then he uses limit definition here. Okay, f prime pi over 2 at the right. Again, maybe this is some special thing, but usually use that notation for limits. And stuff like that. So I'm a little confused by that. Again, that could just be my lack of knowledge. Maybe that does mean something. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't looked into it. So it uses the limit definition of the derivative. This I 100% get. And it's specifically the derivative at pi over 2. Now, it was interesting. Okay, I did read one thing from a person on Reddit about this. There was like one tiny like discussion on it. I'm pretty sure back in 2019, and they only listened to the audio. They didn't actually read the problem, and the instructor actually said, find the derivative of pi over 2. And then they put like, oh, derivative of pi over 2, that's 0. And again, whenever we say find the derivative of, it, we assume, especially in the context of single variable calculus, that we're explicitly differentiating, like with respect to x. So of course, made a joke. I mean, yeah, derivative of pi over 2, with any variable, that would just be 0, unless you counted like pi as a variable. Which what? But yeah, so use limit definition here. The derivative at pi over 2, not the derivative of pi over 2. So that's, I guess someone got confused with that. Like, oh yeah, derivative of pi over 2 is 0. How is that a challenge problem? Well, you got to you got to actually watch it. See the problem on the board here. So derivative at pi over 2. This makes sense. But here, how did you get f of pi over 2 equals to pi over 2? These parts I understand, because if you're doing f of pi over 2 plus h and you're given f of x plus pi over 2 equals pi over 2 minus absolute value of x, you just replace x with pi over h. So then this part makes sense, the pi over 2 minus h. But what I don't understand quite yet, and quite clearly, is how did you find f of pi over 2 with that information? Kind of confused with that f of pi over 2. How did you get it to be pi over 2? And secondly, actually, you know what, that does make sense with the right thing, because what I'm pretty sure Rishi Kumar did here, Mahesh Babu, what he did was, if it's from the right, then the absolute value is positive, so you can remove the absolute value. So what he did was then like pi over 2 minus h, because it's from the right. Actually, no, I'm not 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure what he's trying to do here. Yeah, no, I'm a little confused by what he's trying to do. A right-handed derivative. because the slope would be the same. It would be the slope of the tangent line. So I'm a little confused. Like just anything to the right of pi over 2, like, because this is true if you're trying to find the derivative like exactly at pi over 2. Again, I'm just kind of expressing my thoughts here. I didn't like look up these exact problems on Google. I just looked up the movie, Maharshi, um, math problems. I want to see if there's online discussion. There's very little. Like I think it was like one like Reddit post that talked about it. It was the derivative of pi over 2 confusion. Let me know, guys. I just want to share this with you guys because I thought it was interesting. These are interesting problems. Uh, the second one didn't really make sense in terms of, the work. Like, the work didn't really make sense. I'm not saying that these problems are impossible. And again, I get that this is, like, prop. Like, this is not the point of the movie at all. The movie is not supposed to be math related at all. It's just, like, a success story. He becomes the richest CEO in the world, and then he goes back to his roots and helps farmers. It's a really touching story. I recommend watching it, even if you never even watched a Telugu movie before, or anything in any Indian movie, because this is a really good movie, very powerful movie. So I'd recommend it. Please let me know, guys, about these problems, because again, I need help understanding these. Are these possible? Are these not? Let me know. Thank you, Mahesh, Babu. Yeah.